Hey Roku, it's Don, and I'm here for the last figure we have of the year. So let's get into it. So, the unboxing of this figure, for the most part, pretty simple, I'll be honest. Very short. It came with, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces, base and figure included, with the 3 rolled up posters, the skateboard, the sword, the figure itself, and the base. I have 5. Where did I get 7 from? Hold up. Well, I guess I'm counting all 3 of the papers ourselves, so the 3 papers, skateboard, the figure itself, the sword, and the base, and 7. But this right here is the Arknights Surtr figure by Good Smile Arts Shanghai. This figure, if you don't know, like again, I think in the first video, I talked about how I've been on a kick of plain clothes type figures, or like street clothes. This figure, I saw it, I was like, dude, that would be the perfect like backdrop figure in like my case that I have with like Miku and like the other Ashram design figures I have going on. This figure is gorgeous for that because it's like, she's the badass. She sits in the back and she's cool. I was like, this is a dope figure. I like this one. And immediately I was like, I'm putting this in the background. I'm putting her right back there. And I will tell you this right now. This figure is dope. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the fact that it has such a very dynamic and unique base that she's just sitting and leaning on this bar. I like the fact that there's paint cans and everything. The fact that she has a skateboard. It's a dope figure. Like, it literally just screams just like street attire and all that. It's literally, I think, something that you would find, like, for instance, in like, I would say more 90s, early 2000s, like, I don't want to say grunge, but like kind of those type of magazines and posters you see back in the day, back in my day, whatever. But that's what it reminds me of. It's a very like, it has that aesthetic to it, which I think is very dope. Because granted, I'm not sure how many things you see where probably just leaning on or something with like paint cans and a skateboard next to them anymore. But pricing of the figure, it is 21,200 yen, so that's about 137 USD. It's a 1/7 scale. And again, like I said, it's by Good Smile Arts Shanghai. And again, this is Arknights Surtr Liberate version 1/7 scale. So again, the figure is drop dead gorgeous. I love the shading, but most of all, like, the shading tops it off. Like, but the sculpt is beautiful. Like the hair sculpt, like her hair flows and drapes over the bar. It's it's very nice. It looks very natural in that crazy kind of sense. Well, natural and at the same time very placed, kind of like a model's like photo shoot would be. So I think that's what's very cool about it. And then the sculpt for the stuff around her, like for instance, her base is very unique. It has pavement. It has her, I'm pretty sure that's her name. I think it's her name, Surtr on it. Yeah, it's her name like spray painted or painted onto the base of that concrete. It has the paint cans next to her. It has these posters and everything. It has a skateboard. And then up on the board, she has this huge sword, which I've seen a Surtr figure before for Arknights. And it's very dope. But this one just immediately screamed, this is dope. This is like figure of the year potential. Like my end of the figure, this is up there. So with this, I mean, I love how this came out. The sculpt of the hair alone is gorgeous because I love how it flows. I love the fact that you can see almost each individual strand. Like you can see how her hair is kind of tied together because she has the two horns out here, but she also has a side ponytail, and you can see how her hair is looped from right to left to make that side ponytail, which I really love that sculpt by itself because it has a very good detail and it looks like it's like a very natural all flowing hair. So I love that sculpt. Now, I will say this. I really love the shading in the paint on the skirt. So it's a red and black kind of, not graffiti, camouflage type of pattern. And I love how they've done it. It's very nice. I love how the reds and blacks, somewhat like you see it flowing as it has like moves and waves in it. So they did a very good job painting the skirt. The top is it's almost, I don't want to say see-through, but it's a very light top. You can kind of tell. It doesn't need much shading, but you can tell where it's a little lighter and a little darker depending on where her actual body is. Take this part by the shoulder. Okay, she's pressing up against it. It's going to be maybe a little darker as opposed to like maybe where you could probably see like light shine through. It's a little lighter. I think they did a good job on that painting. And then her sculpt for like her shoes is very nice. She has flaps for the red. Like red is very vibrant on her shoes. Very nice detail there. I think overall they did a very good job. There's nothing that I think is overall flat about the figure, which is very good. Like even looking now, I don't think it has anything like that. Again, it screams like that very like late 90s, early 2000s feel to me. I think that's nothing that I didn't really notice that when I was pre-ordering the figure. I only noticed it when I was like putting the figure together and like just taking it all in of how it looked. And it's a gorgeous take on a figure. And I love it. Like it's literally it may very well be my figure of the year. I'll have to go back through and look. Again, I'm gonna have to choose like my top 5. I don't know how many figures I've gotten, but this one's definitely up there if nothing else. It's very good. Like if I had to end a figure, if I had to end the year with a figure, this would probably be it. But this one's good. So if you're an Azure Lane fan, and you, again, I think this one's a great buy. I know there's a lot. I think there's a lot of Azure Lane figures popping up now. It's ridiculous. But for Surtr, I think I've only seen this one, the one where she's on a throne and there's like a giant, dragon. That one was amazing. If you want any figure, get that one. If I have a picture of it, if I can find one, I'll put it up somewhere. But this was very good. Again, for my aesthetic, and because I'm not into Azure Lane, I think this one is a good, just like almost like my I'm sorry, not Azure Lane, Arknights. Is for someone who's not into Arknights, is a very random buy. Kind of like the Azure Lane figure I did buy. It was a very much more impulse. Oh, this is a very nice aesthetic. I love how this figure looks, kind of thing. So I'm kind of venturing more in that territory of my figure collection, like buying things that look aesthetically cool and pleasing and fits a motif of my collection, which is something I'm doing. But again, if you like Arknights, if you like Surtr, I think this is a good buy personally. Again, but I'm a person who doesn't know much about Arknights, so take that with a grain of salt. Take that, or a huge grain. That I'm a person who doesn't know anything about Arknights. I don't invest into the IP. I don't Like I think it's only has a gacha game right now. No, there is a I think like a 6 or 8 part anime out. I think it's been out for like a year or two now. But again, I don't consume Arknights, but this is a cool figure. Again, especially if you like streetwear figures, I mentioned it before in a previous video. If you like streetwear style figures, this is a good one too. This is a very good one. Again, maybe because it has a motif of like the base is very unique. It has the base by itself makes it so cool. I do love that. Again, I don't think I have much else to talk on about it. Talk about really, you guys. I'm trying again. I love keeping this more natural and giving y'all my first impressions of a figure after I open it and everything, because I think it's a lot more raw. Y'all get my natural reaction to it. But this figure, I love it. I think this one's so effing good. But I want to thank you guys very much for watching. And then again, I know I haven't been posting very much in the last few months. Again, I have a lot of things going on myself. And I think within the next few months, you might see a change in my, not so much my content, but like where I'm posting, because I might be shifting some things around. You might see a change in my content. I'm going to try bringing back Manga Monday. I'm going to try reviewing some anime of the year. I might make that my one of my first videos for 2025. So I'm going to try doing that, because I really want to talk about Don. And the reason I want to talk about Don is because if you guys were here when the channel was like very still fresh, I talked about Don before anybody else was fucking reading it. I was talking about it, I got my friends into it, and now it's just blowing up. I'm just like, everybody loves Don. It's like, I was the first on here telling y'all about Don. I was like, it's a crazy ass story, and I love it. And now everybody called me crazy because it was like, I said Turbo Grand and all that, but no. And now it's blown up everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. I'm like, I should have rolled with it. I could have made so much more content about Don ahead of time, but for sight. I don't know why. I'm just thinking about it. If I would have continued my Manga Mondays, I probably would have talked about it a lot more. But that's my point, is that I don't talk about like the content of anime and manga on here as much as I want to, and I want to get more into that. So I want to spread out beyond a little bit more of my figure collection. Honestly, like this is mainly what the channel's about. But for those like months or so where I don't have a figure, or like weeks I don't have a figure, I do want to branch out that content. So I do want to talk about it a little bit. I've done it here and there before, but I want to do it a lot more. So if you guys, as small of a fan base as I have, or audience as I have, let me know, is that something you're interested in hearing me talk about? Do you want to see me talk about more manga? Introduce you all to like manga that you probably haven't read, or reviewing manga in anime and stuff like that, because I do consume a lot of it in my free time. So I want to talk about new anime, new seasons, like for instance, like Slime, or for instance, Blue Lock. I'm watching new season of Blue Lock. The last few episodes have been killer. The season started off a little rough with the animation, but it's picked up, and I'm like, Or for instance, like the anime of Don and some of the other manga I've read. But you guys, let me know if that's something you want me to talk about, review, because if you guys want to see that, I'll happy to bring it to y'all. But again, leave me some kind of feedback in the comments if you want, and I will happily do that stuff, because again, if I can talk about anime and manga and figures, I am more than happy to do that. But guys, I want to thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, and let me know what you think about this Arknights Surtr figure, and did you pick it up? But I will see you guys in the next video. It'll be Bebop crew.